The ultimate form of revenge is success. A mantra spoken by a man who didn't just chase success, he weaponized it. Andre Romelle Young, the legend we know as Dr. Dre, didn't just change music. He forged an empire out of pure audacity and a relentless pursuit of perfection. He is a self-proclaimed professional winner, an architect of sound, and a mentor who shaped the very landscape of hip-hop.
Ultimate form of revenge for me is success.
Dr. Dre as an artist, and Dre as a producer, and Dre as, the talent finder is ridiculous.
Dre was like, he was like gold.
People say the most beautiful things about Dr. Dre, so this is nothing but a Dre thing.
You can't mention rap, you can't mention hip-hop and not say Dr. Dre.
Is it Dre? Is it Dre? That's what they say.
But before the Grammys, the Billionaires, and the Super Bowl stage, there was a kid from Compton with a single-minded obsession: to escape. Born on February 18, 1965 in Compton, Andre Romelle Young's childhood was a symphony of influences and a struggle for survival. His parents, Theodore and Verna, were singers in a local band called the Romeos, giving him his middle name, but they separated before he was 3. His mother, Verna, was just 16 when he was born and became the family's backbone.
You were just 15, is that right?
I actually had just turned 16.
So you were 15 when you got pregnant, 16 when you had him.
Exactly, February 18th. And so he was sort of like a birthday present, a little doll.
Working multiple jobs and teaching Dre a brutal work ethic. She later remarried, bringing his stepbrother, Warren Griffin III, the future rapper Warren G, into the family. With little interest in formal schooling, Dre was consumed by the nascent LA hip-hop scene, inspired by pioneers like Grandmaster Flash. His escape was a music lab he created in his bedroom, spending hours hypnotized by vinyl and turntables. He got his big break at the gritty Eve After Dark nightclub, where he began as a DJ using the alias Dr. J, as a tribute to basketball icon Julius Erving. The name eventually evolved into Dr. Dre, his self-dubbed title for the master of mixology. At the club's back room, he forged a crucial connection with Antoine Carabee, later known as DJ Yella. They recorded their first demo, Surgery, in 1984, which would go on to sell 50,000 copies in Compton, proving his early skill but also confining him to the limits of his group.
LA is the place for you to be, to witness Dr. Dre in surgery. He has a PhD in mixology to curry.
Dre and Yella co-founded the electro-hop group World Class Wreckin' Crew. The group cultivated a soft image, dressing in glitzy purple leather and sequin suits, a direction that Dre grew disillusioned with and sought to escape. That opportunity came when he was working on side projects for a local entrepreneur, Eric Eazy-E Wright. In 1986, Dre was jailed for a missed court appearance on traffic violations, owing a measly $166. His then manager, Alonzo Williams, refused to bail him out, but Eazy-E posted his bail in exchange for Dre's exclusive production services for Ruthless Records. This transaction, born from business and not just art, established a recurring pattern of breaking from confining structures to forge a new path. Before we dive deeper, be sure to subscribe to the Real Hip Hop Fiend channel. In 1987, a local drug dealer named Eric Wright, better known as Eazy-E, saw their potential. With money to clean, he founded Ruthless Records and brought Dre and Cube in. With the addition of MC Ren and DJ Yella, N.W.A was born. Their debut, Straight Outta Compton, was a cultural grenade. Recorded in just 6 weeks, it was raw, explicit, and unflinching.
Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube.
Their music, particularly the track The Police, attracted the attention of the FBI. The government's attempts to muzzle them only fueled their fame. They were no longer just rappers. They were a national free speech issue. But behind the revolution, money proved to be their Achilles heel. Ice Cube, feeling cheated out of his fair share,
Got all suckers 100 miles and run.
Like to give a shout out to the DLC.
left the group and launched a solo career, igniting a war of lyrical darts. The tension at Ruthless wasn't just about money. In 1991, Dre's temper allegedly led to a violent assault on TV host Dee Barnes, a move he would later regret. He was fined, put on probation, and sentenced to community service. This incident, along with the growing friction over royalties, pushed Dre to seek a new path. He sought help from Marion Suge Knight, a figure who would change his life forever. The most dangerous group in the world was about to collapse from within. While N.W.A.'s debut, Straight Outta Compton, was a cultural grenade that had sold over 500,000 copies in just 6 weeks and eventually went double platinum. The group's internal conflicts were rooted in Jerry Heller's financial mismanagement. Ice Cube's famous departure in December 1989 was sparked by royalty disputes, which he exposed in his brutal diss track, No Vaseline. Dre too grew dissatisfied, feeling undercompensated and believing Eazy-E received preferential treatment. The group's demise was a direct consequence of an exploitative business structure.
I don't like the manager because he wasn't paying me my money.
That's the bottom line.
Bottom line, that's it. No more N.W.A.
Suge Knight, known for his strong arm and intimidation tactics, allegedly used these methods to get Dre out of his contract.
I read and I seen that the guy was only getting 1 point, 2 points, and it was cross-collateralizing everything.
Right.
Even though he was a producer, along with Yellow, if J.J. Fad go in the hole,
Right.
he got to pay for it.
Right.
So it's no way, if he produced and worked for 20 years, he wouldn't have never seen any money. He was always been recouped.
In 1992, Dre and fellow collaborator The D.O.C. left Ruthless for a new venture. With Dre as his star artist, Knight founded Death Row Records, a label funded in part by a $1.5 million check from drug dealer Michael Harry O. Harris. It was a revolution, but it came with a new level of turbulence. Suge was a monster, a bully. He changed the entire complexion of the music industry, bringing a dark, menacing presence.
Before that, it was fun. We all had fun. Man.
Yeah.
After Suge Knight got involved, there was no more fun. There were guys sitting in our office with Uzis 24 hours a day. You know, so he changed the entire complexion of what was happening at Ruthless.
In this chaotic, creative frenzy, Dre found his muse, a hungry, streetwise apprentice named Snoop Dogg. Snoop was discovered via a demo tape from his stepbrother, Warren G. He was the perfect father figure, role model, mentor, and producer for me, Snoop would later say.
Dr. Dre was the perfect father figure, role model, mentor, and producer for me at the time because I was young, I was raw, but I needed direction.
Together, they created a new sound, G-Funk, and a masterpiece, The Chronic. The album, fueled by powerhouse singles like Nothing But a G-Thang and Dre Day, was a cultural grenade. Its lyrics were used as a vehicle for revenge, with Fuck Wit Dre Day serving as a direct and brutal assault on Eazy-E and Jerry Heller.
Don't think I forgot. Let you slide. Let me ride.
The album sold over 3 million copies, went triple platinum, and won Dre a Grammy. The G-Funk sound was a conscious effort to make gangsta rap more accessible to a wider audience, characterized by its plodding tempos, synthesizer, washes, and copious sampling of 1970s funk. Dre's genius lay in his meticulous approach. He seamlessly blended samples with live instrumentation like flute, guitar, and bass for a rich, analog texture. His sound was built on the foundation of a Roland TR-808 drum machine and a Moog synthesizer, which was integral for the funky worm, melodies, and rumbling bass. He used a writer's room model with a group he called the Death Row Inmates, including the D.O.C., Snoop Dogg, and Colin Wolfe, convening at his mansion and Solar Studios. Death Row Records was at the top of the world. In 1995, they signed Tupac Shakur, and their dynamic duo dropped the seismic single, California Love. But the backstage drama was a different story. The East Coast/West Coast beef became a full-blown media circus, hyped to a fever pitch. The tragic drive-by shootings of both Tupac and the notorious B.I.G. left a gaping wound in the hip-hop world. Amidst the chaos, Dre saw the writing on the wall. Frustrated by Knight's escalating violence and the toxic environment, he bailed in 1996. He proved his genius wasn't just in the studio, but in navigating the dangerous streets of the music industry. At its peak, Death Row Records was a company that earned an estimated $100 million in annual revenue, and Dre held a 50% ownership stake. Yet, he willingly walked away with nothing to escape the abusive and violent environment.
You know, Dre was willing to leave Death Row with nothing. He walked out with no masters, no money, nothing.
I've walked away from millions of dollars, Kevin. You know, it's if it's not right, I'm not with it. I'm not about to leave with a wet ass. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that.
A decision that demonstrated his core value for artistic integrity above raw financial gain.
Now tell us about leaving your masters behind in 1996. I always admired that. Like, what gave you the courage to make such a bold decision to leave it all behind after building something so dope with that, bro?
Well, I don't lead by money. I've never let money lead my life or anything like
Likewise,
that.
sir. Likewise.
Yeah, you feel me, right?
Yes.
So, you know, this one was actually an easy separation. You know, when I separated myself from Eazy-E and Ruthless Records, that was a lot more difficult because there was a brotherhood there that was created. You know, so that thing was fairly easy, and I know that wherever I go, I'm taking the talent with me.
Exactly.
So it's that was nothing. It's just about leaving, and the hard part is starting over and creating a new thing.
Like you said, exactly. That's the hardest part. Just making sure what you do, the new thing, making sure that it's gonna work and believing in it.
Absolutely, and I'm always gonna believe and bet on myself. Where I am.
Just about to say that's why the money don't matter, because I'm gonna bet on myself no matter what, and I'm gonna win.
Yeah. If who else can you bet on if you can't bet on yourself?
Exactly.
I'm always gonna bet on myself.
That's why I told you. I said it was motivating to me when I saw that. I was like, you know what? You know what I mean? I went through a similar situation.
I know
later on down the line. I went through a similar situation. You know, so I was like, you know what? I could do this, man.
Dre had walked away from an empire. With no masters and no money, the industry waited to see if the genius was tied to the death row machine. In the beginning, it looked like they were right. On March 22nd, 1996, he started over, founding Aftermath Entertainment with Jimmy Iovine through Interscope. Their mantra was quality over quantity, but the initial results were a mess. His first release, Dr. Dre Presents the Aftermath, was a bloated, boring mess.
I just felt like the music I was doing at that time, it wasn't completely up to par. It was just something that we were working on and experimenting with.
His next project, a supergroup called The Firm with Nas and Foxy Brown, was a commercial disappointment. Despite debuting at #1 and going platinum, it sold below commercial expectation. The critics were ruthless, saying his magic touch was gone.
Some felt like maybe I needed to bump into the right artist or the right musician or whatever, and I didn't have that at the time.
Rumors swirled that Aftermath was in financial trouble. Then, a turning point. His friend Jimmy Iovine, co-founder of Interscope Records, played him a demo from a white rapper from Detroit named Eminem. At first, Dre was skeptical.
Jimmy Iovine introduced me to Eminem, and that's when everything took off.
But as soon as he heard the intense, multi-syllabic rhyme schemes, he knew. He later called Eminem the missing link, an act of spontaneous combustion that would save Aftermath.
Back in those days, I didn't have an artist to work with. I would go to Jimmy's house and have listening sessions. And I remember him picking up this cassette tape, and I was like, what the fuck and who the fuck is that?
The industry was skeptical, but both Dre and Iovine believed his talent was too potent to ignore. Their first studio session was electric. Within minutes, they were crafting one of Eminem's biggest hits, My Name Is. On March 9th, 1998, Dre signed Eminem, and less than a year later, his executive-produced album, the Slim Shady LP, was released. It debuted at #2, was certified quadruple platinum, and was Aftermath's first major success. The track soared to the top of the charts, turning an obscure rapper into a national sensation and silencing Dre's critics. The success of Eminem brought Dre's confidence back. He went back into the studio and crafted his second solo album, 2001. Originally titled The Chronic 2000. It was renamed after Death Row released a compilation with the same title.
At that time, I wanted to call the album The Chronic 2000, right? And my previous partners from Death Row, I heard that they were doing an album called The Chronic 2000. And it was actually Jimmy Iovine's idea to call the album 2001. You know, so I didn't really give a fuck. I thought the music was great. I thought that everything that we were doing was fantastic. And I just said, okay, fuck it. What's in the title? You know, let's just call it 2001.
The music.
And it's almost like a shot at them. They called their shit 2000. I said, okay, yeah, that'd be great, 2001. So that's the story behind it.
The new name was a shot at his old crew. A statement that he was moving forward, not looking back. The album, a massive success, featured hit singles like Still DRE and Forgot About Dre. The former, an iconic track, was famously written by Jay-Z, a powerful testament to Dre's unparalleled ability to identify, curate, and mentor generational talent.
But haters say Dre fell off. How? My last album was The Chronic. They want to know if he still got it. They say rap's changed.
Following the success of 2001, Dr. Dre focused on producing for other artists, building a dynasty behind the scenes. I like working with new and up-and-coming talent, he said. He co-produced 6 tracks on Eminem's The Marshall Mathers LP, including the Grammy-winning The Real Slim Shady. He then signed and executive-produced 50 Cent's debut album, Get Rich or Die Tryin', which became a commercial success. Later, he would also discover and mentor Kendrick Lamar, continuing his legacy of spotting raw talent. For years, the music world waited for Dre's third album, Detox. First announced in 2007, it was pushed back again and again, becoming one of hip-hop's most infamous unreleased projects. Dre is a perfectionist. If it's not right, he won't put it out. The album was eventually scrapped, a testament to his unflinching objectivity about his own work. Don't forget to subscribe to the Real Hip Hop Fiend channel for more stories like this. As the music industry faced the threat of piracy and illegal downloads, Dre found a new game: headphones. The idea for Beats by Dre, which he co-founded with Jimmy Iovine in 2006, was born from a personal frustration with the substandard audio quality of consumer electronics like Apple earbuds. His mission was to prevent the feeling of what I've worked on from being destroyed. Their initial partnership with audio company Monster Cable was a love fest, but it soured, leading to a lawsuit where Monster alleged a sham HTC transaction was a deliberate act of corporate betrayal, used to terminate their contract in 2012. Despite the corporate drama, the brand, which included portable speakers and a music streaming service, was a massive success. So much so that in May 2014, Apple bought Beats by Dre for a staggering $3 billion in cash and stock, making it Apple's largest acquisition at the time. Both Dre and Iovine joined Apple as part of the deal, with Dre reportedly claiming to be the first billionaire in hip-hop. But Dre's story doesn't end with a billion-dollar deal. In 2015, he co-produced the film Straight Outta Compton, highlighting the brutal street life and the triumph of N.W.A. The film was a worldwide hit, making over $200 million. He also released the album Compton, surprising the hip-hop world with its originality and relevance. All profits from the album were donated to Compton High School to build a new performing arts center.
There was nothing there that I really wanted to learn. I mean, of course I wanted to learn math and reading and all that, but I'm an artist. And there, you know, in Compton, in my particular high school, there was nothing there available, you know. This thing that we're building has everything that I needed.
He and Iovine also donated $70 million to the University of Southern California to support a new program blending liberal arts, design, business, and technology. Officially named the Jimmy Iovine and Andre Young Academy. One of the kids that comes out of our academy has the potential to go on and do something to change the world, he said.
One of the kids that comes out of our academy has the potential to go on and do something to change the world. That's the thing that's the most interesting to me.
The past, however, would not let him go. The public became more aware of his history of alleged domestic violence. In 1991, he pleaded no contest to misdemeanor battery for assaulting TV host Dee Barnes. He also faced accusations of domestic violence from ex-partner Michelle A. In 2020, his wife of 24 years, Nicole Young, filed for divorce. She accused him of abuse, claiming he held a gun to her head and punched her in the head/face. The divorce was finalized in 2021 with a $100 million settlement for Young. However, a prenuptial agreement was upheld, and Dre retained most of his assets, including Apple stock and his master recordings. If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe to the Real Hip Hop Fiend channel. In January 2021, Dre's life almost came to an end when he suffered a brain aneurysm. He survived, later revealing he had suffered 3 strokes in the hospital and was told he was lucky to have survived. This health scare and his very public divorce brought him back to reality. In 2022, he headlined the Super Bowl halftime show with Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar, a performance that won 3 Emmy Awards. In 2023, he was honored with the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award by the Recording Academy. In 2024, he received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Dr. Dre has shaped hip-hop for decades. He brought ambitious orchestration to the genre in the 90s and transformed it by absorbing everything around him. He's more than a musician. He's a visionary entrepreneur. His enduring legacy is his unparalleled ability to build and control his own empires. His journey is marked by an enduring pursuit of creative and personal freedom. As he once said, his meticulous, perfectionist approach is the secret to my longevity. A man who consistently breaks free from confining and toxic environments, leveraging cultural credibility to turn an audio product into an aspirational lifestyle brand. He will continue to shape the industry for generations to come.